One of the two philosophers of the 17th century was named Gottfried Leibniz. Leibniz said there were two kinds of truths. First of all, truths of reasoning, and secondly, truths of facts. Now, truths of reasonings are known as analytical truths. Problems such as mathematical problems, 1 and 1 is 2, 2 and 2 is 4. Or the definition of a circle, for example. A plane curve, everywhere equidistant from a fixed point from the center. Or the definition of a rectangle, a four-sided plane figure with 4 right angles at 90 degrees. Or even a definition of a triangle, 3 points connected, not in a straight line, connected by segments. So we have what are called truths of reasoning. These also include major premise, minor premise, and conclusion. For instance, let me give you an example. All bachelors, major premise, are men that have never been married. John is a bachelor, therefore John has never been married. You have major premise, minor premise, conclusion. Now the second one that Leibniz mentioned are truths of facts. These are called synthetic truths. Now, truths of facts are just that, but they're facts that have been gathered for hundreds of years. They've been proven over and over again. Many theologians have come to understand that facts are God's native tongue, God's public revelation. The great German philosopher Arthur Schopenhauer once said that all truth passes through 3 different stages. First, it is ridiculed. Secondly, it's violently opposed. And third, it is finally accepted as being self-evident. My friends, this is what happened to evolution. In the early 1860s, it was ridiculed. Within 20 years, evolution became the dominant thinking in scientific circles. Why? Because the evidence for evolution is overwhelming. It is a truth of fact. Listen carefully. It is a synthetic truth. Now, there are 2 different kinds of facts. There are real facts and then there are true facts. Let me give you an example. A real fact could be the fact that 47% of Americans still deny the fact of evolution. That may be a real fact, but is it a true fact? Well, the polls are constantly shifting, aren't they? And the facts of evolution is that it is a fact. But a real fact is subject to revision. Let me give you another example. For a long time it was an idea that dinosaurs had reptile-like skin. But recently dinosaur fossils were found with traces of plumage and feathers around it. So this was not a true fact. The fact that dinosaurs had reptile-like skin, that was a real fact. It was in the history books, but it was not a true fact. It eventually became a true fact when our fossil discovery caught up with the evidence. So there is a hierarchy of knowledge, a hierarchy of knowledge. We are certain about certain things, and for instance, knowledge we've been certain about for hundreds of years that we've proven over and over again. That is what we call vetted knowledge. It's been proven hundreds of times, thousands of times. The same experiments are done every year, and we have the same results. We have confidence in it. It may not be perfect, true facts, but they're certainly real facts until they become true facts. Scientific method is always correcting itself. Let me give you another example. It was a real fact that at one time that the Earth was the center of the solar system and the sun went around the Earth. But with the discovery of telescopes, Copernicus and Galileo said, no, it's the Earth that travels around the sun, and the sun is the center of the solar system. That became a true fact. And the Greeks were even able to reason this out 2,500 years ago, as they would see the ship sail out in the ocean, and the last thing they would see on the ship was the top of the mast going down under the water level. And so they knew that there was a curvature to the Earth. They were even able to prove it through geometry, and I'll get into that in another video. So we have real facts and true facts. Now let me make it plain to you why we should study evolution and why it makes a huge difference. We are living in a critical time of human history. The decisions that we make today will be critical for our species in the next 2 decades. It will be the difference between survival and destruction. It is that serious. And because evolution is a fact, it means that we are not born with a tabula rasa. It's from the Latin. It means blank slate. Most fundamentalists would like to think that. No, my friends, that's not the case. We have a long history of evolutionary adaptations as pre-humans that goes back 6 million years and even 550 million years before that. As you now understand, there are 3 types of history then that mold our thinking, that mold our lives. First, there's the evolutionary history. Second, there's cultural history. And third, we have what's called personal history. History of our family, our immediate environment, our family and friends. So you see, we are not blank tablets at our birth. Our minds are like a blank sheet of paper, yes, but underneath that sheet of paper is 550 million years of evolution. It's sort of like a clay tablet on which you put that sheet of paper, that blank sheet, but that tablet presses hard on that original sheet of paper. That sheet that is a blank sheet of paper that is you or me. And when we begin to write our own history on that white sheet of paper, our pen at time catches in the grooves in the tablet below, in the crevices, in the grooves, in the notches, and the indentations of that tablet that is our evolutionary history of our species. It affects the way we live. It is a cause and effect of who we are on a human species and on an individual level as people, as species Homo sapiens. It also means that our minds evolved along with our brains. Our brains doubled in size over the last 2 million years. This is proven in the fossil strata. We have the evidence. A doubling in size over 2 million years. The implications of this are not realized by fundamentalists, but the implications are myriad and mind-boggling. I want you to invite your fundamentalist friends, whether it be Christians, Jews, or Muslims, so that we can start a dialogue and point them to the truth, this Truth is God program, and together perhaps we can change the world, we can transform our planet. Tell your friends, help me make this Truth of God program go viral, and let's put in place a dialogue that can move our planet forward. Our video next time is on understanding, one of the most important concepts that you can grasp. And until next time, goodbye, friends.